The investigation is continuing right now into a massive apartment fire in Palm Harbor. This morning, we hear from the people inside that building when it began.
Plus, superfoods with surprising effects. This morning, a breakdown of what could be impacting your overall health negatively.
A new coalition in the LGBT community is hoping to create a safe space for anyone in the construction industry. I'm Jenny Dean, live in Ybor City. I'll have more on this coalition's mission coming up.
And thank you for joining us. I'm Jameis Mueller. Time right now, 5 o'clock.
I'm Caitlin Lockerbie. It's Monday, March 25th. Hope you had a great weekend. Let's send things over to meteorologist Amanda Pappas. It sure was gorgeous out there. We've got a little wind out there this morning, though.
Good morning, Caitlin. It is going to be breezy today. Yes, we had some rain on your Friday, but everything shaped up nicely this past weekend, and we continue that nice dry pattern into the beginning of this work week. Now, we are going to be breezy with those winds coming in from the east, northeast at times. That is going to be changing, though, slightly and coming more from the east and southeast later this afternoon. So that'll bump us up with our temperatures. Right now, we're feeling breezy out the door, so I'd wear probably a light jacket, or a light sweater, just because that wind kind of cuts right through you, but still starting off nice and mild. 61 for Tampa and Port Manatee, 62 for Lakewood Ranch. Over the next 12 hours, we get back up into the 80s. Good morning, Sarah. What's going on in the traffic world?
Good morning, Amanda. Good morning to all of you. As we get a look at traffic across the Bay Area, we are helping you plan your commute. It is Monday, and we're so glad you've joined us here on the Brightside. I'm Sarah Rosario, letting you know of any road closures or any crash updates and drive times as they become available. Right now, we do have no road closures, but we do have some construction that is going on right now, and you may be running into some flashing lights here because that construction here along I-4 near the Polk Parkway. So good morning to you. If you're going to be waking up this morning, you're going to be dealing with that. And then we're also tracking a couple of crashes, so heads up about that. Just one I'll tell you about right now is I-275 at State Road 60. We've got a right lane blocked because of this incident right now. Caitlin Jameson.
We start this morning with developing news out of Pasco County, where the sheriff's office is now investigating a deadly shooting.
Yeah, details are limited at this hour, but we're working right now to get you more. Here is what we do know. Investigators believe two men were arguing around 10 last night near Meadow Drive and State Road 52 in Hudson. That is when one man shot the other. That victim later died. Deputies did not say if they know who the shooter is or if they've arrested him. The sheriff's office says it is an isolated incident and the investigation is ongoing.
And this morning, Hillsborough County deputies need your help to figure out what led to a deadly shooting over the weekend that happened Saturday night at the intersection of Sugar Creek Drive and Danny Bryan Boulevard. Investigators say a man and woman were both shot. The man died at the hospital. This morning, the woman is still in the hospital. Investigators say this appears to be an isolated incident. If you know anything about the case, though, call the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office.
This morning, the Red Cross is helping those impacted following a 12-unit apartment fire. The fire marshal says that building on Haviland Court there in Palm Harbor is almost a complete loss.
Yeah, scary scene for them. We expect to hear an update in the next few days. This massive fire, at this hour, the causes of it are still under investigation.
It smelled burning. I heard, get out, get out.
It was just pitch black out there. And it's supposed to be like an afternoon, but it looks like midnight. If we were like late 2 or 3 seconds, we wouldn't make it.
According to Palm Harbor Fire Rescue, the flames began Saturday afternoon. Firefighters say they started on the first floor and then spread quickly up to the attic. This morning, the cause of the fire still under investigation.
And questions still remain unanswered this morning after 2 crew members died on a Florida-based cruise ship. Holland America is calling it, quote, an incident in the ship's engineering space. It happened Friday while the Florida-based New Amsterdam was at Half Moon Cay in the Bahamas. The company says it notified authorities who are now investigating, but they did not give any information about those crew members or even what led up to their deaths. The cruise set sail out of Fort Lauderdale on Saturday. Sticking to the 7 Seas now, new details this morning on a Carnival Cruise fire. The company now canceling today's and Friday's cruises out of Port Canaveral. The company says the damage on Carnival Freedom is much worse than they originally thought. A fire broke out in the exhaust funnel Saturday as the ship was off the coast of the Bahamas. The company says multiple people reported seeing a lightning strike. As they investigate, guests on the canceled trips will get a full refund and credit for a future trip.
Well, this morning, law enforcement from across the state, they're looking for this man right here. Take a look at your screen. Right now, he's accused of stealing an ambulance in Hillsborough County.
Yeah, that happened on early Friday morning. It all started right around 2 a.m. on Friday at the I-75 South ramp to I-4. A supervisor with American Medical Rescue, a private ambulance service, noticed that a car appeared to be involved in a crash and went to check out the situation. When they did, troopers say the man jumped into the ambulance, fought the driver, and then took control. They say the ambulance driver was able to jump out and call for help, but troopers say as the man appeared to be under the influence, he drove off and he hit a car.
After deputies lost him, they say the car camera system in the ambulance reported the crash. They later found the ambulance, but investigators are still searching for the man involved. At the center of this chaos, here's a look at him again. If you have seen him, you're asked to call FHP. Right now, it's estimated the construction industry is going to need an additional 500,000 workers this year alone to meet the labor demand.
Yeah, a newly formed coalition is hoping to help with those numbers, creating a safe and supportive space for the LGBTQ plus community. 10 Tampa Bay's Jenny Dean joins us live from Tampa to tell us more about the organization and what they hope to accomplish. Good morning, Jenny.
Yeah, good morning, Caitlin and Jamison. It's called the Pride Construction Coalition, and just this weekend, many of its members were right here in Ybor City celebrating Tampa Pride. But it's really all about acceptance. And Tommy Whitehead is the man who owns Tomco Solutions. He has a licensed contracting firm, and he created the Pride Construction Coalition because he did see a need to create a safe space for everyone. And Tommy started the coalition less than a year ago. Already, they're getting a good response.
We invite everybody. It's not an exclusive organization. It's anybody that wants to advocate for equal rights in any industry, and especially in the construction industry, to come out, network, and show your support.
I've always wanted to be making an impact into a community that I'm a part of, and Tampa is home for me, and so the simple fact that they're making a strong impact into my home, I want to be a part of that and see if there's any way I can help.
Because you don't have to deal with the client.
And you know, with 40% of the construction workforce set to retire in a few years, more workers are going to be needed to support the demand. But those workers, they need to feel comfortable and safe on the job. Now, the Pride Construction Coalition has already held several networking events over the past few months, including one earlier this month celebrating women in construction. Jamison?
Yeah, Jenny, I'm glad you're doing this story this morning because I've never heard of this before. Are there any other coalitions like this?
Yeah, actually, there's one other. It's a national alliance. It's based out in California and New York, but in this area, they really haven't had anything like this. So the Pride Construction Coalition is one of a kind, and Tommy, who created it, is really hoping to be able to see it grow in the future and maybe have more growing across the state. Live in Tampa, Jenny Dean, 10 Tampa Bay.
Jenny, thank you. In just hours, the city of Tampa will honor an American hero. The city will hold a flag-raising ceremony for PFC Hugh Gilbert Buddy Strickland. He was the first casualty from the Port Tampa City community during World War II. Today would have been his 100th birthday. The flag raising is at 10 this morning at the old City Hall on East Kennedy. Happening today, Polk County Schools is hosting a ribbon cutting for the upgraded Dennison Stadium.
Well, crews removed the old football field and installed new artificial turf. They also upgraded the track and field. The district says this project will help Winter Haven High host more sports competitions. The $1.8 million project took less than 2 months to complete. The ribbon cutting is at 9 o'clock this morning at the stadium in Winter Haven. And after a year and a half of renovations, the Regency Park Library branch in Newport Richey is back open. The branch closed in October of 2022. Some of the renovations include new meeting and study rooms, improved tech, and new service desks as well.
Well, let the fun and games begin in Citrus County. The county fair starts today and it lasts all week. It's on South Florida Avenue in Inverness. Wristbands cost $30, but today they're $25. You have to buy tickets on site. The fair opens tonight at 5 o'clock.
And I must smell the funnel cake from here, right? All right, staying safe on the road this morning. March is Bike Safety Awareness Month.
Yeah, coming up next, traffic anchor Sarah Rosario shares ways you can share the road while staying safe.
And the Tampa Bay Lightning wrapped up their road trip last night in California. Coming up, how the team got back on track against the Ducks, plus a couple of key players. They could be on the bench.
Good morning to you. Beautiful end to the weekend. Now we had some rain prior too, but everything shaped up nicely, and today is going to be one of those days, continuing to see a lot of sunshine, dry conditions, and we also are dealing with very breezy conditions. So make sure 2 hands on the steering wheel. Will be breezy tomorrow, but I'll show you the major change in the middle of the week, all coming up. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Amanda. Looking at traffic right now, no major issues to tell you about so far. We do have a crash here along the Veterans Expressway for drivers through Tampa at Linebaugh Avenue. So if you'll be driving through there, you may see a roadblock, not really impacting the drive times at this moment. We're back after the break.
Welcome back. Time now 5:12. A massive alligator now has a new home this morning after living in this retention pond that you see right there near the old Coca-Cola factory in Temple Terrace. Neighbors say they were worried that gator could escape through a hole in the fence, which has now been fixed over there. Thank God.
Yeah,
goodness.
I don't know if I want that guy crawling around my neighborhood. 9-foot, 500-pound American alligator. His name is Coca-Cola, fittingly, right? He is now at Croc Encounters in Tampa. Caretakers believe people were feeding the gator, something that wildlife officials say not only is illegal, but very dangerous as well.
Not smart.
So Coca-Cola is now in an enclosure with dozens of other gators. New friends, I guess. Croc Encounters has also added another well-known gator on display. Famous Amos is 25 years old, almost 14 feet long, and weighs close to 1,200 pounds.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He is well fed. You can find a link to the website on 10tampabay.com. If you've been to any of these Croc Encounters, some of them don't like each other very much. Some of them kind of like.
I don't understand why.
Have you seen a gator fight before?
I don't understand why they're so ornery over there. What's going on?
I don't like any of them. They seem like pretty nice creatures.
They're nice when they're like
in an encounter.
when they're baby size, right?
In an enclosure.
With the tape over their mouth.
Yeah, basically.
All right, a live look outside this morning, Monday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. It was gorgeous here in the Bay Area. A little breezy this morning, though, right?
Definitely going to be breezy as soon as you head outside. So going over any bridges like the Skyway Bridge as well, both hands on the steering wheel are needed this morning because you are going to feel it shaking the car a little bit. And also for my boaters out there, don't even think about it. I know you want to get out there and enjoy some fun in the sun, but today we have a small craft advisory in place, so that is not going to help you to get outside. So please be careful out there. In addition, though, we do see that our temperatures are nice and mild. We are dry, not feeling too bad with the humidity either. 61 for that current air temperature, dew point at 57 as well, and we continue to see that we have these mild temperatures running all throughout the Bay Area. Take a look, 58 for Thanona-Sassa right now, 63 for Safety Harbor, Clearwater Beach in the 60s there, 55 for Crystal River, a little cooler north of I-4, and 63 for Sarasota. So definitely feeling very breezy. Take a look, we see temperatures and also conditions just overall feeling very refreshing, cool and crisp out the door. We are mild, but still this wind will cut right through you, so I'd suggest putting on maybe a little light sweater for you. That'll help you to be nice and comfortable as soon as you walk outside. But aside from that, we do see that our breeziest conditions are going to be running right along the coast this morning, so keep that in mind. Also, secure any of that patio furniture because those winds are gusting upwards of 20 to 25 miles per hour as we head into the next couple of hours, coming in from the east and southeast today, so that'll make us a little warmer, a little more humid in some areas, but still low end humidity for today. The only thing is that's a negative, or the downside of all these windy conditions, is going to be our marine forecast really is impacted by the breezy conditions. They're deteriorating those seas 2 to 5 feet. They're going to be very elevated. The ride out on the water going to be very choppy for those bays especially, so not going to be the best day to head out there on the boat with that small craft advisory in place. Here's why. As we head into the next couple of hours, this is 7 o'clock, winds baseline from 15 to 20 miles per hour, then gusting on top of that from 20 to 25 miles per hour come that lunchtime hour. So maybe if you wanted to eat outside on the patio, you want to secure the furniture. Excuse me, Monday brain right here. We do see that we're going to continue to be breezy both today, and we're also breezy heading into tomorrow. You can see those winds still holding on strong from 20 to 25 miles per hour. Again, baseline 10 to 20, and then we see those winds gusting from 20 to 25 25 at times. So aside from that, guys, here's the name of the game today. We're breezy, but also warm. 83 for your high temperature. Nice mix of sun and clouds. Tonight, we remain nice and dry. We'll still see that nicer breeze in place, but heading into tomorrow, we are going to be a touch more humid with temperatures running in the middle 80s, so even warmer. And then we see our next storm system arrives late Wednesday into early Thursday, bringing us those increased rain chances before we have a nice dry weekend weather for Easter. Sarah?
Amanda, good morning. Good morning to all of you. As you get a look at right now, we've been looking at that crash here along the Veterans Expressway for drivers through that portion of Tampa. You can see looking good the rest of the roads apart from that crash area. So if you're going to be looking at this crash driving down the Veterans, no big delays that we can tell you about right now on that portion of the Tampa Bay area, despite that crash being under investigation there. Another crash we're looking at here is for drivers through Plant City. US 92 Baker Street, heads up. There is a roadblock there, a lane blockage there in the westbound lanes. It's a crash near Wilder Road, so heads up about that. The rest of the roads here through portions of Lakeland, as you're getting in from the Polk Parkway, taking I-4 westbound, I-4 eastbound through this portion. If you're going to be headed from Hillsborough County into Polk County, not really seeing a big impact on the roads there because of that crash. Looking at the drive times across our bridges, all looking good. Courtney Campbell Causeway, Gandy Bridge, and Howard Franklin Bridge, all up to speed. March is Florida Bicycle Month, and with that in mind, there are several events taking place for you to know about. And I'm going to be telling you more about those here in just a second. Happening today in Pasco County, the Metropolitan Planning Organization is teaming with the Cooperative Extension to give away free bike helmets. So good news there. If you're going to be getting a bike helmet, they're hosting a helmet safety day. Anyone interested can stop by between the hours of 3 and 7 p.m. Those helmets available while they last. That's going to be taking place at the Cooperative Extension, their one-stop shop there in Dade City. And in Sarasota tomorrow, the Venice Police Department is hosting their Pedal Safe, Pedal Smart Bicycle Safety Summit. That event is encouraging safe biking habits. It's intended for adults over the age of 55, but all are welcome. Attendees will learn more about group riding, traffic laws, hand signals, and more.
Now, this is 10 Tampa Bay Sports.
On Saturday night, the Tampa Bay Lightning lost a tough overtime game to the LA Kings, and it ended their 5-game winning streak.
Yeah, and the losses continued on Sunday afternoon, but there was a happy ending. 10 Tampa Bay sports anchor David Shealy has the recap of the final days of the Bolts' West Coast trip.
Before the puck even dropped last night, the Lightning announced that Braden Point and Victor Hedman are both dealing with lower body injuries and are day-to-day. These are two big-time players for the Bolts, so hopefully they can get back soon. But the game had to go on, and it was a good one last night between Tampa Bay and Anaheim. The Ducks opened the scoring with Ross Johnston netting his first goal of the season. Great response by the Lightning in the second period. What more can be said about this brother, Anthony Duclair? He scored the equalizer to bring his point streak to 7 games. Tampa Bay took the lead later in the period thanks to Luke Glendening. He's the alternate captain with Hetty out. Ducks tied the game in the third, and guess what? We go to overtime just like Saturday night. But if I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it? Poetic justice for Tampa Bay as they get the win in OT 3-2. As for the college basketball postseason, USF was back to the Yuengling Center for round 2 of the NIT. Taking on VCU, the Rams held a 2-point advantage at the break. That turned into a 7-point lead early in the second half. The Bulls spent the next 18 minutes trying to overcome that deficit. Chris Youngblood got it down to 1, but then Kason Pryor makes a mistake here. Turns the ball over near his own basket, then commits the foul. Bulls go down by 3 after the free throws. They get back within 1 as Shelton Miguel gets the bucket and the whistle here with 21 ticks to go. VCU then called timeout, and that iced the 6th man of the year. Miguel misses the free throw, and that was it. USF eliminated. Season over. 70-65 is your final score. We still have a local basketball team to cheer for, though. The U Tampa women's team competes in the D2 Elite 8 this afternoon against Ferris State. And lastly, a congrats to Peter Malnati, who won the Valspar at Innisbrook on Sunday.
Well, just weeks after state lawmakers ended the legislative session, could Governor Ron DeSantis call them back to Tallahassee?
Yeah, what the governor is saying about a possible special session focused on immigration.
But first, we'll show you why all these people and their pups hit the track over the weekend. Pretty cute. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay. Thanks for waking up with us on the bright side. This will get you smiling, right? Look at these So cute. Looking for a little interview here. Saturday was packed with positive action at Gadsden Park in Tampa.
Yeah, the community and their furry friends hit the track for a walkathon to raise money for Southeastern Guide Dogs. The nonprofit provides service dogs to veterans at no cost.
No.
And who are you here with today? Who's that? Hello.
At a walkathon, we've got local businesses and vendors that come out and they show their products and they support Southeastern Guide Dogs. And we also had a 3K walk that was absolutely incredible.
Thank you very much. Oh, yay, coming back for more comments.
We're raising funds overall for our programs. We're a nonprofit that receives no government funding, and where our goal here is to raise $1 million and get some new puppy raisers to help us raise dogs around the United States, especially here in the Tampa Bay area.
You've got some thoughts, okay. Oh, okay.
I am a puppy raiser. It's worth it. It's so much fun. You get to see an incredible dog grow into a superhero. And what better thing could you ask for in that situation? Because you get to see that dog grow up and change and save somebody's life. And what better thing can we do for another person?
Oh, more to say. Oh, I know. Everyone wants to eat the microphone. I know.
We had a great turnout. We've had an absolute blast out here at Gadsden Park.
Oh, it's like a cruel joke. They're all like, is this
a
jerky
treat
or something?
No, lots of no comments out there, right? Don't worry, no equipment was harmed or even ingested during the interview process.
A little slobber out there, though, right? A little
Lots of
drool. 10 Tampa Bay is proud to support Southeastern Guide Dog Walkathons. They're taking place throughout the Bay Area. To find one near you, you can head to guidedogswalkathon.org. We've got all the information on 10 Tampa Bay as well. My goodness, you could go there just to look at all the faces. All right, new for you this morning. Overnight, AAA announcing its latest gas forecast for Florida. We take a dive into those numbers before you fill up this morning.
Plus, we hear from Governor Ron DeSantis about a possible plan for a special session.
Community means everything at 10 Tampa Bay, and we want to hear from you. Just scan this QR code. Send us your story ideas and what you want us to cover in your community.